Well, hey everybody, my name is Debbie Zito, and I am here with an amazing colleague and good friend of mine, Meg Leddy. We were just sitting here chatting and celebrating our anniversaries with an incredible nutraceutical company. And we thought, you know what, let's just chat about this a little bit more because we could get into really heated discussions about this. And the whole time, I know we are both thinking people need to hear about this. We're celebrating with an incredible nutraceutical company called LifeVantage. Meg and I met, I believe, in a mom's PA group. So I've been a PA, I just celebrated 34 years as a PA. And Meg, you've been a PA for how long?
Just over 20.
Over 20. Well, happy anniversary, with your PA profession. And I can't believe it's been 34 years. I really don't feel as old as I am. And that's part of the conversation today. So we met in this wonderful wellness group, and Meg and her family, Meg lives in Cary, North Carolina, right? Cary
Yes.
with her wonderful husband, Phil, and their two daughters. I have two daughters also. I live with my great husband, Mike, in a little island, St. Simon's Island, and we're talking about how fun it is to be a mom of girls, but how cool it is to be a wellness warrior, and that's what we both are. And we want to talk about this because we are really empowered by just knowing what we can do to be preventative for our health. I want to be a centurion. I really do. I want to be that 100-year-old that is living a vital life. I've got this little sunshine over here. I told Meg that's going to be my new logo, the Sunshine PA, because I love everything about what that represents for me, which is vitality and joy and happiness. And I want my family to feel the same way. So, Meg, just tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, so I started my wellness journey back in 2018 after suffering through severe medical burnout. Um, it felt like nothing was going right. I'd reached the pinnacle of my career and I looked around and I was like, why am I not happy? I had no energy. I felt like I couldn't give anything more to work and home. I felt like just fatigued and tired all the time. So I started researching like what would make me feel better, how to pull myself out of burnout. And I became a wellness ambassador at Duke. And that led to me just eating up any information I could get about how to make myself feel better. And when you get down to it, after all of my research, what it comes down to is making sure that your cells are provided with what they need to be healthy. And that comes down to the food that we put in our bodies. That's the resource for our body to grab what it needs to give our cells what it needs. And this is just about the time that you reached out to me and said, "Hey, there's this great company. I really enjoy it." And speaking PA to PA, that was a big deal for me because I knew you knew science and medicine. And if you were saying that this was something that had some that really was good, so I started looking into it for myself. I did my own research on it, and you're right. This LifeVantage is such a great company. It's giving us nutraceuticals, it's giving us nutrition that helps activate our cells. It gives our cells what they need to perform at optimum levels. And that's where, as we age, that's where our cells lack, that they don't age as well because they don't have what they need to perform at optimum levels. And when you look at, I mean, I've done so much research on this, but I mean, when you look at our mitochondria and how they age, or even our skin and how it ages, just how our diet plays into that. And when we don't get what we need from our diet and from the food sources around us, and couple that with the environment that we live in, unfortunately, has a lot of chemicals and toxins in it that affect our cells. So when we are coupled with a diet that may not be giving our cells what it needs, and we have these toxins and chemicals in our environment, our cells suffer. And how can we support our cells better? LifeVantage. It was the obvious option. I have been on it for years. I would never recommend something to somebody that I haven't done myself. And I can tell you, the benefits that I've seen in myself, my family, it's just incredible. I mean, I just feel,
You
so
feel
much
like you
better.
again, right?
Yeah.
Feel like you. There's nothing better than feeling your best self.
Mhm.
I mean, I think too with me always, so my specialty is pediatric and adolescent medicine, and it is really my heart to nurture families starting from, when they birth their first child to now I've had those children have children, and some of those are starting to have children. So I really delight in having the opportunity to educate people from early on. Hippocrates said it right, let food be thy medicine, right? And in my practice, it's everything. What are you feeding, your children at home? Because we all know it's not just what you are, what you eat, but you feel what you eat. Everything begins in the gut. So that's why I feel so empowered to have this knowledge that LifeVantage has given us. I mean, we are known as the activation company, the activation company. We activate our bodies, like Meg said, at the cellular level. That's where it all begins, right? Healthier cells make healthier tissues, make healthier organs, make healthier systems, make Meg the best that she can be. So it's starting at that level, and that's what we do. We don't just supplement, it's very different. It's a very different science. Supplementation is when you add something to your body, micronutrients or minerals or things that your body may need, right? So sometimes I know people take a whole bunch of supplements, and a lot of my parents in the practice would come in and say, Miss Debbie, what do you think about these supplements? And well, first of all, is there validation there? Like Meg said, the validation of our company is everything. Published peer-reviewed studies, 30 actually published peer-reviewed studies, more coming, patents on our product. I know the quality assurance of our products, but they're not just supplements. They activate or turn on gene pathways. Epigenetics is a big thing. Like Meg said, we're exposed to all of these things in our environment that are causing disruption in our bodies, not just at the outside. Meg, in your specialty, you see what happens to toxins to the skin, right? Tell me a little bit about that and how when you take your products, you're literally putting on an armor every day to help what you see every day is the
Yeah.
decline, right, from our
Yes.
from our environment.
Yeah. So I work in surgical oncology. And what's really interesting to me when I take a big picture view, so we work alongside our medical oncologists. And in the specialty I work in, we tackle metastatic disease with immune therapy. Okay. Immune therapy takes the brakes off your immune system so the immune system can actually fight the cancer. So when you think about that on a, 50,000-foot view, what's interesting to me is we know the immune system can fight cancer, and patients that respond, that their immune system fights the cancer, do well long term. So we know our immune system is so important in fighting cancers. And we also know that our biggest immune organs, skin, our lungs, our respiratory, and our gut. And how do we support our immune system? Well, again, we are drawing all of the things that we eat to help support our immune system. And so, again, everything leads me back to supporting our immune system with what we're eating so that we can fight cancer before it starts. In medicine, we are very, very good. In the medical world, we're very good. If you have a car accident, if you already have a diagnosis, we have the ability to treat you. But what we aren't good at, and what I really, really want for my patients, is for you to never have to see me, for us to prevent these things from happening. And that is a possibility. And I can see it with all of the knowledge that I have. I can see that what we're putting into our bodies, what we're avoiding putting into our bodies is also really important, and how we really help ourselves prevent disease before it happens. And that is what's making me so excited about the products that LifeVantage has, and just the way that we can actually take care of patients in a different way or take care of ourselves in a different way. Because I hope you never have to see me. I hope patients never have to see me. But when they do, we have medicines, right? That is when you need medicines. But hopefully we can actually make changes so that less and less people ever have to see me.
Well, the body is to me an incredible warrior system. We were born to help heal ourselves, right? We
Yeah.
were born. So why not get back to that? Feed the body the nutrients it needs so those genetic pathways wake up,
Hmm.
turn back on. And here at LifeVantage, I love it. They have this great little motto that says we take it to make it.
Hmm.
Simple as that. We use, you know, we use ultra pure ingredients, very low dosages that synergistically work together to turn on gene pathways. And Meg, you were mentioning, just, of course, the things that you see from exposure. And metabolically, what happens is that is a process called oxidative stress, right? Every time you breathe, every time you're oxidizing, your body is creating waste. And like I said, you've got the human body to do the things it's supposed to do, but sometimes it slows down as we age, and all of those things break that down. So that's what I love at LifeVantage. I mean, their original product is called Protandim NRF2, and it reduces oxidative stress, the bad oxidative stress, the root cause of why we age and why we malfunction, clinically proven to do that by 40% in 30 days. And there are hundreds and thousands of published medical journals about oxidative stress. So you could literally look up any concern that you have and put oxidative stress in there, and there will be well-researched, peer-reviewed studies on that. So LifeVantage has created this amazing product, like I said, that reduces oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. And Meg mentioned mitochondria. I mean, your mighty mitochondria. I mean, think about this. If your incredible body is working 24/7, right, to metabolically get rid of the waste, well, you're going to need some energy to do that. And you're going to need better supported mitochondria. And we have a pathway activator. It's called the NRF1 Protandim pathway activator that activates that. NAD, Meg and I were just talking about, there's so much talk about NAD right now. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that, because you hear it everywhere. Athletes, people that are trying to turn back the clock, you know.
It's interesting to me that it's coming out and I see it all over my feed now, NAD, NAD. And LifeVantage has had this for years. It's not new to LifeVantage because they've done the research on cells and what cells need. And years ago, they came out with this product. So it's just really interesting to me that when I hear about something new or something that's really good for our bodies, I will go to my LifeVantage products, and 9 times out of 10, it's in there. It's already there. And I'm like, this is why I love this company, because the research is there. They have people that are just focusing on how do we activate these cells? What do our cells need? And they are going down to that subcellular level and figuring out what our cells need to activate. And it's just incredible. I mean, I do have to talk about our PD-1, oh no, sorry, our GLP-1. PD-1 is medicine that we give for cancer. I apologize. This GLP-1, and I looked at the ingredients before ever starting it because I wanted, obviously, I do my own research. I want to know what I'm going to be on. And the ingredient list was stuff that I already knew through my own research on wellness that was so good for your gut, that was going to help support all of this, all of the all of the good things that need to happen in your gut that we don't know about, that the general public does not know about nor understand. So when we talk about needing fiber in our gut, so we evolutionarily, if you think about how humans have evolved, we have always been hunter-gatherers, right? And before we had fire and spears and things like that, we basically ate veggies and fruits off of, bushes, etc. our gut is set up to handle basically like 100 grams of fiber a day. And we get so much less than that. I mean, even if we shoot for
Way
50 a
less.
day, we get so much less than that. But what that fiber does in our gut is really important because evolutionary, this is how our gut was formed. So these fiber-rich veggies that we say we eat, your gut can't break them down right away. So they go through your stomach, they get broken down a little bit, they go through your duodenum, they signal to, send out GLP-1 to the liver and et cetera. Then they keep going down. And then there's another area where there's receptors at the end of the small bowel into the colon. And if there is still food particles there, right, that haven't been broken down, that's another feedback loop to say, we're still full. We still have what we need. We don't need necessarily more food. And so when we have food that is fiber rich, it doesn't get broken down right away. It's hard for our bodies to break it down. It has to exert energy to break it down, which is not a bad thing. When we eat foods that are highly processed, they break down very, very quickly. They can break down before they can go through the duodenum, which is the end of the stomach, very quickly, where we don't get the signals that we're full. There won't be anything left by the time we get to the colon. And what's really important too is this fibrous food, because it doesn't break down, it feeds our bacteria all the way down our gut. And if you have highly processed food that cannot get through the whole small intestine and into the bowel, then it doesn't feed that bacteria. That bacteria is so important. This microbiome, supporting a diverse microbiome, is so important to our health. It is so important for our immunity. It is so important for every aspect of our health. So when we talk about fiber, what did I do? I go to the GLP-1, tons of fiber, tons of veggies are packed into that. Now, I will tell you, I am the average American. I try to pack veggies into my lunch. I do the best I can. But in order to pack that much vegetable into my body, I wouldn't be able to eat anything else, right? I'd be eating all the time. I wouldn't be able to eat anything else. And I like my French fries every once in a while. I do. I'm not going to. So it just is so nice to have support for what my body needs because I am not perfect. But I can take something every day that helps my body get what it needs. And then if I'm not perfect, it's okay. So I have the things in place. It just makes me feel better about I do make better choices. I have had less food noise. I mean, I make better choices, but if I still want those French fries, I can have a few and it's like, okay, right? Because I'm not going to be
I
perfect.
love it. I mean, like Vantage truly hit it out of the park. I mean, so GLP-1, glucagon-like peptide hormone, most of it is created in the gut.
Mhm.
So the beauty of this product is it again is an activator.
Right.
Like
It's
Meg
not
said, I mean,
synthetic.
you feed your gut the right things. There are so many good natural
Mhm.
GLP-1 products or food out there. And again, it all goes back to feed the microbiome. And if you're feeding the microbiome, you are going to make healthier GLP-1 hormones. So we all make this hormone. Going back to the exposome and all the things we're exposed to and just natural aging, that GLP-1 is not going to function very well. And ultimately, we're stuck with insulin resistance and having trouble using the glucose or using the energy that our body needs. So, LifeVantage has created the first GLP-1 activator. It activates the pathway by 140%. Meg, I haven't seen anything out there like this. Anything. There is nothing that compares to this GLP-1 activator. And the beauty is these are natural nutrients that feed your incredible body. It is not a prescription. It is not a drug. It is not going to do harm, which a lot of those synthetics are doing. And ultimately, I'm a little bit worried over time what's going to happen. So I don't really like to compare it to the synthetics because those are actually suppressing your natural GLP-1 production. It's like a bully, and they come in and they go, hey, Meg, I've got this. You don't have
Mhm.
to worry. Don't worry about making your own GLP-1. Don't worry about it. So what's going to happen when those people stop that? Their GLP-1 production is already way down. That's what I love about the system. So I've been on it 90 days. So I've been on the LifeVantage product activation products for 9 years. I just celebrated my 9-year anniversary. And like I said, you feel like Meg again. There's nothing better than feeling like your best self. I feel like Debbie. I'm happy. I was so drawn to Meg because of her podcast and dealing, with burnout. I mean, we are an incredible stress as medical providers, and we love what we do. We're passionate. We take an oath to do what is best for our families. We do that every day as moms when we wake up every day to take care of our children, so to do this every day for our families, for our children. I mean, LifeVantage to me has been the greatest gift, and I'm just so thankful, Meg, that you partnered with us. We have incredible medical professionals like you that see this and understand this and know that there's a better, safer way. So just thank you so much for taking time out of I know you're an incredibly busy practitioner, so thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, I'm so glad to be here, and I'm happy to share the message.
Thank you so much.